things like that. So they had a real hands-on experience trying to prepare for what we all are doing in our lives for many, many years. Sixth grade camp just ended. They had a very cold, wet camp, rainy weather. Despite the weather, the staff had a great time. Upcoming events, there's a band concert tomorrow. Middle school bands, including beginning, intermediate, advanced, are placed starting at 7 p.m. And fourth grade field trip will be coming up. They're going to study Wisconsin history, going to the Old World, Wisconsin, and also visiting Horicon Living History Day.
All right, thank you, Bob. Lee? Okay, I'm going to introduce our guests first, if you don't mind. Ms. Hollipa, I think I saw you come in. So I'd like to introduce real briefly Judy Hollipa, who is our one of our business teachers and our FBL advisor. And I'm not going to steal too much thunder, but we are proud to announce for the second time in a row we've had kids do very well at the state competition. And we'll be heading to nationals at the end of June. So Judy, if you want to explain a little bit about how, not so much FBLA, but the whole
Sure.
deal.
So back in February, we went to Waupun for regionals, and I had seven people went and competed at regionals. And they competed in events, computer events, and speaking events, and accounting, just all the different, marketing, every business area you can think of. And out of those 7 people, we had 4 that went on to state. Matthew went on to state for economics. Autumn Keene went on to state for computer applications. Haley Van Raden went on to state for Microsoft Word, and thank you. Diego went on for Excel. And so they got to go on to state, which was in Green Bay. And so we spent 2 nights in Green Bay, and they competed again, and they went to, do you want to talk a little?
Sure.
Go ahead.
So at State, which is in Green Bay, we were at the KI Center, which is part of the Marriott up there. And there was just a huge convention center that we did testing in one huge room for all the ones that had tests, as well as just workshops with meeting with business leaders and other things. Like there was even a college section just to meet with different colleges in the state. And just going between those different workshops as well as testing, all leading up to the final kind of like closing ceremony where all the events were announced.
And then Matthew placed.
Yeah, I placed second in economics, making it to nationals, and Autumn placed 4th in computer
Applications.
and made it to nationals as well.
Yeah, so I have 2 students who are going to nationals. It's in San Antonio, Texas, June 29th through July 2nd. Lee has accepted my request and plea to go with. Just because I have one boy going and one girl going, he just, said he would like to go with, and so yeah, it's a very big honor. It's only my 2nd year in FBLA, and I'm still learning as I go along. I didn't realize last year that I could take 4 people to state even if they didn't qualify at regionals. I wish I would have known that, because then I would have taken 4 people with. I took 2 people with, one that qualified and one just to go with to see everything, and I found out that I could take 4 people, but I guess, live and learn. So this year I took 4 people who qualified and 1 person who didn't qualify, and then she did a lot of workshops and sessions while they were competing and doing other things. So, again, learning a little bit about it.
It's your 2nd year, right?
It's only our 2nd year.
Yeah.
A lot of people are like,
Impressive.
you're going to nationals again this year?
Yeah.
So,
Good job.
I'm very proud of them for what they've done. So I appreciate your support with FBLA. And do you have any questions?
How's the testing? How are you tested on economics?
Each section's a little different. I was with economics. It's pretty much just a paper and pen test on all of economics, including microeconomics and macroeconomics. It's basically different economic systems, different basic parts of economics, like key terms, situations. Like in economics, it's a lot of this situation is happening, what's done to fix it, or how does it adjust, like if you have a negative supply shock, and how that affects unemployment and interest rates.
Your law of demand, the law of supply, equilibrium, all that good stuff.
Where others, they've taken more computer tests, for Word access, Excel, and other things like that. you're taking a computer portion either at a school, or I think for nationals they actually have to go to a
Tech college.
tech college to take it, and then they also take a pen and paper test about it as well there.
There's also a lot of speaking as well. So there will be groups of people speaking. One of the speaking groups that I was just a timer for was for crowdsourcing. So they had to talk about crowdsourcing and how crowdsourcing is helping people, how the negative components of it. There's just so many different topics, and it's not just paper pencil. It's not just computer. It's speaking. It's just getting up in front of people, and it's just really good leadership experience and a wide array of topics.
I got a question for you. Do you like economics?
Yes, I took actually AP economics
I
last
just
year.
wondered.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
So as a sophomore, I took it and passed both the AP tests with 5s. So that actually kind of helped. That's one of my areas of interest for possibly college now.
Awesome.
So
I'll tell you what, there's quite a bit of money out there in the corporate world for people like you who love economics. I love economics, but it's nice to see someone else likes it too.
I think what's interesting hearing is that actually at the state convention, there's recruiting going on. So the universities,
Absolutely.
they're
Oh, yeah,
going to
universities
recruit. That makes so much sense for them to do that.
Right, and businesses as well.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a little
Awesome.
mini business world, a career fair, college fair, all in that state. And I've never been a national, so I can't really speak about it, but we're going to learn about it now.
Big version.
Yeah.
So are you a senior or junior?
I'm currently a junior.
Junior also. So you got another year to
Yeah.
compete.
Yeah.
You get number 1.
Now, he cannot do economics
do
next
Can't do
year.
economics.
No.
You can't.
He will find something else next year. Yes, he will.
Well, good
Marketing.
luck. Good luck at
Thank
the
you.
nationals, and good job, Judy.
Thank you.
Where's the national side?
San Antonio,
Oh, wow.
Beautiful city.
yes.
Nice and hot.
Especially then.
Especially in
June.
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 We're right on the Riverwalk, so I'll be
Okay.
pushing you in
Even
the
better.
water. It's too hot, right? No.
But I'm going to quickly compliment Judy and as well as Matt, is that if you look at the enrollments in our business-centered classes, they continue to grow. And I'll just make 2 mentions. The work that we've done with UW Oshkosh. Judy, could you just talk about your CAP classes real quick?
Sure. I teach 2 classes for UW Oshkosh. It's CAP classes, Cooperative Academic Partnership Program. So one of them is Introduction to Business, and that's dual credit through Marine Park as well as UW Oshkosh. The other one is Personal Finance. So students that take the CAP portion, they have to meet certain requirements to be in the CAP portion, but it's literally they are taking the class that UW Oshkosh is offering for Intro to Business and for Personal Finance. I have to use their book, I have to use their curriculum, I have to take questions from their tests. I have to do everything the way they do it because they're in accredited colleges and I don't want them to lose their accreditation because of myself. So I have to teach it the way that they teach it. But they do earn the 3 credits for Introduction to Business or for Personal Finance. Now, students that take the class don't have to take it for CAP credit. They can take it because, for example, Personal Finance, we offer Personal Finance and then we offer CAP Personal Finance. And I shouldn't have one above the other, but this one is a little bit more rigorous. This one we do a little bit more like future values, present values, things like that we don't really do in the normal Personal Finance. Because we don't, because it's just, this is the college level one and this is what I have to do. So the CAP course, the students have to pay $100 a credit. And the criteria that they have to reach is one of these 3 things. They either have to be in the top 25% of their class, they have to have an ACT score of 22, or they have to be, GPA of 3.25. They have to meet one of those 3 requirements to be able to take the CAP credit for UW Oshkosh. Now, some students don't reach those 3 things, but they can come and talk to me and say, Ms. Help, I really want to take this for CAP credit. I do plan to go to a 4-year college, and I really would like to try and get these credits, and I will have an agreement with them that, you know that this class is going to be more rigorous, and I can actually get them out of one of those 3 if I really think that they have the potential to do well. I don't want them to not succeed. I want them to succeed. So we'll really just sit down and have a candid conversation about these are the requirements. It goes more fast-paced. Are you prepared for this? Are you prepared for the work outside of class? Because at least 2 days a week, they take home at least an hour work. an hour outside of class. And I can do only 2 days a week because I meet every single day with them. Like the college professors that come in, they're like, you are so lucky you get to meet with them so much compared to what the college professors meet. So those are the 2 classes that I offer through UW Oshkosh. And like I said, the Intro to Business, I can also offer it through Marine Park. So some students get the Marine Park credit for free, and then they also take the CAP credit. They get to choose, but you don't have to take the courses for CAP. Some kids are just taking it because they do want more rigor, or they just do want to know a little bit about all the business subjects, but they don't have to take them for that. So it's open to anyone. There are certain criteria for the CAP portion. Does that make sense?
Yes, it
Sure.
does. Appreciate what you're doing.
Thank you.
Appreciate what you're doing too. Great.
Judy,
Anything
no,
else?
thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good
And
job,
they think-
Judy. Congratulations.
I would have other people here, but 2 of them are sick. 2 of them are, yeah, I had 5 people that were going to be here, and thank you, Nancy, for showing up.
I mean, yeah, you seem so calm speaking there. Great job. Yeah,
He's pretty
pretty
like
good.
that.
yeah.
You're one of the, I'm gonna use it as the wrong term, the mock trial, right, as
Yeah.
well, at state, and you guys had a great experience there.
Oh, yeah, that was awesome.
So he's a debater, Joe, you guys could go.
Oh, that's awesome. We have to debate one day.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just to let everybody know that last weekend was prom. We had a very successful event, and I want to thank Jeff Trott up at the golf course. They hosted our prom dance from 9 to midnight on Saturday night, and then we head down to the middle school for our post-prom. And thanks to Bob and the staff down there for allowing us to use the middle school for our post-prom. We had about 90 kids attend both events. And also want to send out a special thanks to Jeff and Ann Ferrari and their team at Taco Bell because they catered our food in for our post-prom, all donated all night long, which is really nice for our kids. And post-prom was a big success. AP tests begin this week. You heard Matt mentioned econ. We'll have kids sitting for 5 different tests over the next 2 weeks. Our English, with our largest number of kids, will be testing this Wednesday. When we have numbers over 5 in a course test, we use a local facility. We'll be testing out the TAG Center on Wednesday morning. Nice and quiet out there in the morning sometimes, and then we need the seating for 19 students. As Scott mentioned, May 21st is senior recognition night. Also last Tuesday we had Career Day. I want to thank Dave Seiler and his group. We had over 40 businesses represented. If you had a chance to stop up there, you'd see the gym full. The really nice thing this year is we had additional speakers come that are graduates. So we had about 15 people attached to local businesses or other areas that came back and spoke to our students, and some of our speakers and our recent graduates were from GE Medical, Harley Davidson, Regal Ware, the Milwaukee Brewers, Mech Metalcraft, Michaels, and they did a really good job of explaining to the kids the process after they left high school. And what was nice about our speakers, they weren't all 4-year graduates. Some went right into the world of work after high school, some were 2-year degrees, some were 4-year degrees, some were going back to get masters and doctorates already. So that was really nice for our kids to see and hear from them. May 16th, next Thursday, we're having a community engagement event at the high school called our Big Event, which stands for Build, Inspire, Grow. It's an opportunity for our families in the district, both young and old, to get into our building to check on our renovation to see how far we've gotten and how far we will continue to go over the summer. It's also a nice chance for them to meet our staff and our students up at the high school. Yesterday, we held a vocal concert down at the Shower Center, which turned out real well, and then tonight is the instrumental concert, and that'll wrap up our music concerts for this time of year until graduation.
The big event, did that invite go out
Yep.
to all Skyward class?
Yep.
Okay, so did you get it?
We went to
Just
families, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
You
I'll share
send
it
it out
with
to
these
them
guys.
too?
Yep.
It's a neat
Yep.
promo, it looks good, so I think you should
Yeah.
send it out.
It'll be a little different it'll be a combination of high school activities, but we're also gearing a lot for kids that will come to our high school someday.
You said that was May 16th?
May 16th from 4 o'clock to 7 o'clock at the high school. Anything from archery and fitness things in our new spaces there to science. We'll be doing a lot of hands-on things for the kids, and also be serving a picnic the people that want to show up that
Does
night.
it go, so they have like a little bit of a petting zoo, that kind
Yeah,
of thing?
FFA's gonna have, because the
So it's
FFA,
fun.
FFA alumni had bought pens, so we'll have a petting zoo for the kids, and I don't know what Jake will have left for flowers by then, but that'll be open as well.
Well, often like the high school showcase, the focus is for families of high school students. And at this time of year, it's just go, 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 and families of high school students are pretty aware of what's happening and it's wrapping up. So instead we thought, hey, it'd be a great idea to have it be a promo of everything that's been happening at the high school for our K-8 students. And it's definitely welcome all high school families to come, but to recruit more than that. This time of year is super busy. They have a lot of choices on places to go. So we'd like to put something together a little bit different, so.
Well,
that's a
some of
great
our high
idea.
school kids helping out, especially with the science and the combustion activity and things like that.
For the senior recognition night, one of the things that comes out of that one is that we ask in advance if you are coming as board members, and we assign some duties. So I was just kind of reflecting, the next board meeting is the 20th, that's too late to be asking that. So we'll be sending out a communication, just asking for if you're attending or not. And then when we confirm that you are, yep, so you've got an invite from
So if you let her know
the
that
high
you can't make it
school,
either.
but you should let us know yeah, so who's the RSVP to, however? Christina Adamovich, and what's the date, May 6th? Perfect, I didn't get that in front of me, so, perfect, okay, that'll be great. Okay, so yeah, if you RSVP to Miss Adamovich, the guidance office secretary, will be perfect by May 6th, so that we can make sure to assign next meeting. I did, again, today's May 6th, yeah. Drop the dates with me. You need RSVP, I guess today. So, let us know as soon as possible. So, okay,
problem to be a day late.
all right.
We're,
Scott, I had on my calendar May 10th for end of year tea.
We moved it to June 10th,
To when?
to June 10th.
June 10th, okay.
Yep. It literally is end of the year, very
Yeah,
last day.
all right.
Yep. And then I have these, I printed these out, I forgot to share them. Just an executive summary that it's about to be sent out. That had some nice pictures of some of the updates, you can see the progress. The auditorium's been slow and steady as far as the progress goes, but it's actually significant. So all of the drywall's done, they're painting the walls in the auditorium. The ceiling is painted, and what goes in are clouds actually, that are floating clouds. So you can see a nice picture of the progress that's there. So it is all the handicapped accessible pieces have been, we're ready to go as far as the way the floor is laid out and some of the tiered stadium seating. The extra pieces of the stage that are coming out have been added. Stairs to the stage have been added. So the sound and lighting booth is complete, except for the countertop. So that's some impressive progress with all of that. If you walk into the building now, you have to come through the safe, secure entrance. So you have to come through the new office. So the new office was open for business last week. And I would say it's been a pretty smooth transition overall for that. There's a event at the high school that leads up to, so we're booked. A lot of things happening this time of year. So this picture on the left-hand side, that is the, right when you come in off of the main office, so that's the vestibule. So you're actually looking at the office, which would be on the right-hand side through those doors. This is what the current compartmentalization doors look like. They're solid wood. Push a button and those close. Picture on the right is the gym lobby. It's nice and open now. To the left here, there will be a mural and 2 display cases. So the whole goal of that was just to be nice and open, so parents, athletes, everybody could flow out into the lobby when they're done. So this picture, this is what it currently looks like in the old office. So that'll be the concession stand, the guidance office suite, and then the transition room with the school store and the studio apartment behind that. So that scope will all be done by June 3rd. That section will be done. And right now, what you're looking at are actually, that'll be some new bathrooms off of the auditorium. So when you walk in, which once was just job site everywhere, finally the walls, the ceilings of the hallway for the 2 arms of Mayville High School Those are pretty close to complete, which is amazing to see. That's been a long process. So it was a little loud earlier, so Judy was here, her classroom was directly located from that, so we had to tell them to kind of change their work schedule or to accommodate this schedule. So, but the demolition part is done for that, now they're just putting it back together. So it's all behind a wall of plywood, you can't see inside there at the moment. And once the exterior gets all sealed up, they'll take that wall down, but that'll be a while. So, but before school's out, so I now know that today is May 6th. So, and by June 3rd, this scope is supposed to be done. So, I mean, that's less than a month from now. So that's a pretty impressive pace. And the auditorium, I would think, by the time school's out, that'll be cleaned up enough where we could have the doors open and people can see what's happening. So the goal is to have the gym lobby 100% complete other than the mural. The mural in the lobby, very inexpensive, and it is going to be a composite of pictures that are historical pictures as far back as we can go that are black and white, and then with our athletic letter M over the top of it. So it's pretty cool. So probably next board meeting I'll show the graphics. So trying to embrace the history of Mayville and support the athletic program throughout the years. So I did want to hand that out and I forgot to do so.
All right, thank you. Brian, do you have a report for us?
I do.
Is that a paper copy already?
I gave you a paper copy and Scott will pull it up on the screen. There's a lot of words in there. A lot of it's just repetitive from the quarterly report I give. So I'll just kind of hit the high points. Like I said, it's a quarterly report. It's going to cover the first 9 months of the year, which ended March 31st. We obviously have 5 weeks of activity since then, but the best practices, we're now comparing the first 9 months of this year to the first 9 months of last year. I'll give another report again in late July before auditors come in, and then the report you'll see after that will actually be the auditor finalized numbers on everything. So the report looks at the general operating expenditure budget. Uses basically the budget adoption format, comparing actual activity to the budget through March 31st. We're going to look at it on the function-based analysis and then the object-based analysis. So at the bottom of that first page, as of March 31st, our school year based on number of teacher days is 73% complete. The fiscal year is 75% complete. Year-round staff have been paid 77% of their payrolls. Teaching staff has been paid 62% of their payrolls. Those numbers are important to remember just because we're really looking at this from a percentage standpoint. And you'll see through March of this year, we've spent 62.39% of our budgeted funds. So that's really in line with our teacher payroll. They do make up the majority of our expenses. The same period of time last year, we had spent 61%, so it's up a little bit, but it's within a very reasonable range. On page 2, this is where we look at it on the function basis. This is the same general format that was approved at the annual budget meeting. I'll kind of go through what makes up every single one of these. The function is based off of what we've actually spent the most money on year to date. Undifferentiated curriculum, that is K-5 teachers. Business administration is fiscal year staff. It includes property service payments as well. That's district office staff, custodial staff, directors pay, and then maintenance costs is in there as well. So there's a lot of stuff that makes up business administration. Regular curriculum is K-12 instructors. School building administration is principals, associate principals, and secretaries in each of the buildings. Central services is IT expenses. General administration makes up the superintendent, the district office secretary, and the school board payments. Vocational curriculum is agriculture, business ed, tech ed. Co-curricular is self-explanatory. Phy-ed is self-explanatory. Our insurance payments are in there. That is insurance and judgments. Instructional staff service is library expenses, and then a small portion of Lee's pay is coded to Director of Instruction